Hi, today I'll try to share some of my experiences during my board exam journey as a civil engineer. Okay, so I'll be sharing to you for this day how to pass Civil Engineering Licensure Examination board exam. So just a brief rundown or background of the three subjects for the Cele board exam. We have three subjects which are the MSTE, the Hydrogeo, and the PSAT. So the MSTE or the Mathematics Surveying and Transportation Engineering tackles about different basic concepts in mathematics surveying and transportation engineering. The principles of hydraulics and geotechnical engineering tackles about the basic concepts in hydraulics and geotechnical engineering, mostly about soils and the relationship between foundations and soils. For instance, the principles of structural analysis and design, well, it tackles about structures and its relationship to various loads. And this also includes physics and science-related subjects. So that's 35% of the grade. Um, okay, I'll be saying that MST is 75 items, Hydrogeo is 50 items, and PSAD is 75 items also. So let's say you have gotten 83 out of 100 in PSAD, then that 83 is multiplied by 0.35. So your score for that specific subject is 29.05. And then, suppose you have gotten 90 out of 100 in Hydrogeo, then 90 is multiplied by 0.30. So that's 27 out of 30. So 27 plus your score in PSAD, which is somewhere between 29, right? 29.05. So you can add that. 27 plus 29.05. And then you will also include, suppose you have gotten 89 out of 100 in mathematics. So that's 89 over 100. I mean, you multiply 89 by 0.35. You have gotten 31.5. So you have to add those 31.5 plus 27 plus 29.05, then you've got 87.55. So that's your overall general weighted average for the Cele board exam. So that is how your overall score in Cele is being computed. There is a weighted average. I mean, there is a weight for every subject. Next, this is my first tip. Read and solve past board exams. This might be a cliche, but this has worked in personally. I read and I solved past board exams because I believe during my Cele experience, I believe that questions to be given during the board exam were just a repetition of past boards. So that's it. You just have to expose yourself to read and solve past board exams. That's tip number one. So here are some of the books that have helped me solve problems in PSAT and Geotech. So that's Civil Engineering Licensure Exams by Bezavilla. This book, this is more likely made up of more than 500 pages. This book has really helped me solve problems related to PSAT and Geotech, but not really in math. So this book also of Gilisania has helped me solve problems related to PSAT and Geotech. Tip number two, don't let review centers ruin your study routine. So this is my tip number two. So as much as possible, you have to stick to your core. What is your study routine? You need not to really adjust, just to suit, or just to suit to the principles or study teachings in your review centers. So your hobby, your study routine, as much as possible, you have to stick to it because every individual is unique, and every individual, each of us has a set of learning tools and learning routines that each of us, that we need to stick to it. Okay, so that's it. That's my tip number two. Tip number three, it's okay to solve problems or memorize in uncomfy places. So just a tip. Actually, on my end, places that are somewhat uncomfy. So for example, train. I solved problems. I solved Cele-related problems in train. So I think I remembered well concepts related to PSAD when I solve problems in train. Well, it's not that comfortable in riding a train, especially in the Philippines. So it somehow, on my point of view, it made me, it it helped me, it helped my focus. It strengthened my focus. So that's it. It's okay to solve problems or memorize in uncomfy places. Okay? That's it. Parang mas na-force ka na i-focus yung sarili mo on things that is important, which on that point in time, solving problems instead of getting distracted. So ganon siya. Next, tip number four is try to enroll in review centers. I said review centers because as much as possible, you need to get exposed to various problems and various solution methods. So in my case, I have enrolled to two review centers, the Planner Review Center and the RI, Review Innovations. And at the same time, I planned to get enrolled to Padilla Review Center, but due to some reasons, I did not. So those are my tip number 4. And then tip number 5 is to utilize all the time allotted in each board exam subject. Do not be hasty in the board exam. The MSTE started at 8 a.m. and ends 12 noon. Utilize those time. The geotech starts at 1 and ends at 6. Utilize that time. PSAD starts at 8 and ends at 12. Utilize those time. Okay, so that's approximately 5 hours each subject. So as much as possible, utilize all the time allotted to you in each board exam subject. So those are just my simple tips in order to obtain these scores in the board exam. I've got 80 plus in MSTE, 90 plus in Hydro-Geo, and 70 plus in PSAD. That gives me the general average of roughly 80 plus. So that's it. Thank you for listening.